Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking at this book this afternoon from Jordan's. It's now in a fourth edition. It's called Companies Limited by Guarantee. It's been written by two people, Mark Mullin and Josh Lewison. And that's the back of the book itself. And you can see the book, it's not a particularly big one, it's got some footnotes at the bottom, and it's got the usual sort of numbering, so you can find things pretty easily. There's a nice CD at the back, and you've got all sorts of other things, including a reasonably good index, which is there, you can see that. And you get at the front the usual sort of information. There's a good preface, always worth reading the preface, and then you've got the contents there, and you can see generally how it's structured, and then the book itself just runs through in a particular way. It's obviously very detailed and important for those people who are involved in running companies which are limited by guarantee. There are quite a few of them around, and it's certainly quite important to know about how they actually operate. Our review has really looked at the book, and we've come up with this as a particular commentary which you may find of help. This is a guide to company law as it affects companies limited by guarantee. And as I say, it's a fourth edition now from Jordan's with an accompanying CD-ROM. So for lawyers, accountants, company directors and company secretaries dealing with companies limited by guarantee, this concise and authoritative volume from Jordan's is essential if you're involved in that area. It's a completely updated work of reference for those advising, for example, charities, clubs and trade associations, that type of organisation that will go for the limit by guarantee. It would also be, in our view, of benefit to public sector employees and those working in that type of and related fields. It's been updated to reflect the changes in the law which have taken place since 2011, and it's now, in our view, a well-established work, in the words of the author, quote, designed to provide a guide to company law as it affects companies limited by guarantee. And I'm glad to use the word company law rather than corporate governance, because it is about company law. As the authors explain, a company limited by guarantee is a private company in which the liability of its members is limited, but essentially it is the framework of company law which, say the authors, provides a ready-made system of checks and balances between the company, its members and its officers. And the new edition incorporates much new material that practitioners across a range of professions will need to know about when they're dealing with the burgeoning number of organisations operating as companies limited by guarantee. Something that was fairly rare many years ago when I first started reading company law, but it's become more prevalent. Such companies, say the authors, are enjoying a resurgence, particularly as a vehicle for social enterprise, including free schools and academies and scientific institutions. Interestingly, the two authors, that's Mullin and Lewison, touch briefly on the development of the internet in the UK, at least partially, by certain mutual organisations or trade associations of the kind that would logically operate as companies limited by guarantee, and which in many instances pioneered the operation of the internet infrastructure. However, probably most noteworthy as an aspect of the new edition is the new material which is included, and that, for example, would be the new charitable form of charitable incorporated associations under the Charities Act 2011 and related provisions. Also included are amendments relating to Scotland and Northern Ireland, which I think again would be of interest because of the widening, if you like, of our activities within the UK. Note also Appendix J in the book, which contains the update on annual filing requirements for charitable companies. There is also an update of model articles of a company for use by property companies as well. And in fact, in case the need ever arises, there's a procedure for the expulsion of a member, which again may be of some interest to some people, because that could be where the contentious litigation perhaps evolves. For those therefore doing additional research into this currently expanding field of law, the book in our view provides extensive tables of cases, statutes, statutory instruments and European materials which will be of assistance, plus the 10 appendices and a handy index. And the text throughout, except for the appendices, is presented via the numbered paragraphs as I've indicated, which makes it much easier to navigate. Another time-saving device is the CD-ROM which I mentioned, which is on the back of the book. It's entirely accurate, therefore, I think, to say that the book is an incredibly useful resource for all professional groups involved in this particular field of law. And the law is stated as at December 2013. I'm recording this in March 2014, but it's very up to date, and I think the book itself, as I say, have a look at it again and what it's got there. The book itself, it's quite small. It's only just over 200 pages, but it's a very good book, and one I'm very pleased to have, and to be able to say, yeah, this is the sort of thing that we find quite useful to read. There's nothing worse than reading incredibly boring stuff, and this isn't boring at all. It's very helpful. So thank you to all concerned for an excellent contribution. Bye-bye.